His fist hit the table so hard the glasses rattled. You act like this. Family owes you something. The words hung there thick, hot, final. I didn't flinch. Not this time. He leaned forward, veins showing at his temples. You've never earned your place here. You think you're better than us because you pay a few bills. I stared at him across the table at the man who'd once taught me how to hold a wrench and now used every sentence as a weapon. Then get out, he said. If you want to be so independent, go prove it. So I did. Packed my duffel bag, walked past their shocked silence and shut the door without looking back. Behind me, his pride stayed standing where his love used to be. I used to think respect could be earned through effort. When I was 16, I worked after school, paid half the electric bill, helped refinance the mortgage when Dad fell behind, handled the paperwork no one else wanted to understand. He'd say, "You think you're smarter than me, huh?" Whenever I corrected an interest rate or fixed a tax form, Mom would smooth things over with a laugh. "He's just trying to help, dear." But every success of mine chipped away at his authority. He was the kind of man who'd rather drown than accept a hand pulling him out, and I stupidly kept offering my hand. By the time I turned 25, every major thing they owned, car, insurance, house, was partially under my name. Not because I wanted control, because I thought that's what family did. But when love turns into debt, the balance always breaks. The cracks showed slowly. I'd noticed my name missing from bills I'd once co-signed. Conversations stopped when I entered the room. Mom avoided eye contact. Dad started calling me the tenant. The final straw came the night before I left. He looked at me with disgust and said, "You think this roof stands because of you? You'd be nothing without this house." Funny, I thought, because the house wouldn't even exist without my credit. That night I sat in my old room and checked the accounts. I wasn't angry, just clear. Every automatic payment, every linked document, every joint signature mine. They thought they were cutting me off, but all they'd really done was hand me the keys to the kingdom before slamming the gate. Leaving wasn't weakness. It was withdrawal. You don't fight a storm. You let it destroy itself. I moved into a small studio downtown. No heat, no space, but peace. While they mocked my independence, I started reworking everything behind the scenes. I contacted the bank, removed my name from the mortgage. The house had been refinanced under my credit 2 years ago. Dad didn't qualify. Once I was off, the loan was flagged for review. Next, I canceled the insurance policy again under my name. Then I withdrew the standing payment authorization I'd set up for their utilities. Every form was a quiet strike, every signature a slow unraveling. I didn't gloat. I didn't post about it. I just waited. Took less than a month for the storm to hit. Mom called first. Her voice cracked like static. "Sweetheart, the mortgage company called. They said there's an issue with the payment." I kept my tone calm. "What kind of issue?" They said it was declined, that your authorization is gone. I almost smiled. Guess the one who never earned their place was paying for yours. Silence. "Then your father doesn't know I'm calling." Of course he didn't. Pride doesn't dial for help. Within a week, the house started to crumble from the inside out. Late notices piled up. The insurance lapsed. Utilities shut down one by one. Dad tried applying for A new loan, but his credit was dust. The same bank officer who once met us together now said coldly, "Sir, you don't qualify without your cosigner." He'd built a throne on my back, and when I stepped away, he had nothing to stand on. They found me eventually at my new apartment. Mom stood in the hallway, clutching papers, letters, rejection, notices, unpaid bills. "Please," she whispered. "He's breaking down. The bank won't help. We're going to lose the house." I looked past her at Dad, standing by the elevator. His shoulders were slumped, his eyes hollow, but still burning with the same pride. "You happy now?" he muttered. I met his gaze. "No, but I'm finally free." He tried to speak, something between an apology and an accusation, but the words died. Pride doesn't know the language of regret until it's too late. I handed Mom a folder. Inside were all the documents he'd ignored for years. The loan denials, the refinance notices, the bills I'd covered quietly. She flipped through them, her face paling. "You paid all this for years," I said softly. "And I never asked for thanks, just respect." Dad turned away. The man who once said I owed him everything couldn't even meet my eyes. As the elevator closed behind them, I finally felt the weight lift. Justice doesn't always come with fire and noise. Sometimes it's silence and a signature removed at the right time. Month later, I drove past the old house. The for sale sign leaned sideways in the front yard, paint peeling, grass yellow. Through the cracked window, I saw the curtains drawn like the house itself was ashamed to be seen. It used to feel like home. Now it was just a monument to denial. They moved into a rental soon after. I heard through a cousin that Dad refuses to speak my name. That's fine. Wasn't looking for reconciliation, just recognition. I built my own place. Small, quiet, paid in full. Every board, every brick mine. Sometimes I stand by the window at night watching the city. Lights flicker like embers. And I think about that night at the table. How he slammed his fist and told me to get out. He thought he was breaking me, but all he did was release me. I earned my place, long before he realized he'd lost his. And in the end, the house didn't fall, because I left. It fell because the foundation was built on pride and I was the only one holding it up. The moment I walked out that door, I didn't lose a family. They lost the one person still keeping the lights